Your attention isn't a habit. It's a market. And the most valuable commodity in that market is not your time, it's your timing. Because if a system can control when you act, it can shape what you buy, what you believe, and what you become. Start with the simplest truth. Attention converts into money, not just through ads, through subscriptions, through purchases, through political influence, through culture. At scale, attention becomes leverage, because attention is the gateway to action, and action is the real product. The product isn't the app. The product is your next move. Scroll, tap, watch, buy, share, return. Each one feels small. But the system doesn't measure your intentions. It measures your behavior. Because behavior produces signals. How long you watch, where you stop, what you replay, what you skip, what you click when you're tired, what you click when you're bored, what you click when you're lonely. These signals are valuable because they predict what you'll do next. And prediction is money, because once a system can predict your next move, it can sell access to that moment. It can sell the placement. It can sell the timing. It can sell the nudge. That's why the business model is simple. Reduce friction to keep you inside the loop. Remove stopping points. Remove silence. Remove empty space. Because empty space is where you think, and thinking is where control returns to the human, so the system fills the gaps. Autoplay, infinite scroll, notifications timed like alarms, recommendations that arrive before you even ask. Not because you demanded them, but because the model learned the moment you're most likely to comply. The longer you stay, the more signals you produce. The more signals you produce, the better the system becomes at steering you. And the better it can steer you, the more profitable the market becomes. This is why the attention economy doesn't feel like persuasion. It feels like convenience. It feels like the perfect suggestion. It feels like exactly what I needed. Feels like one more clip. But convenience at scale is control. Because once a system can shape your timing, it can shape your outcomes. It can shape what you buy without telling you to buy. It can shape what you believe without arguing with you. It can shape what you become without ever announcing itself. And that's the shift. The attention economy isn't entertainment anymore. It's infrastructure. Quiet. Ubiquitous. Always on. And infrastructure changes the rules. Because when something becomes infrastructure, it stops feeling optional. It becomes the default. You don't choose it. You wake up inside it. And that is what makes the attention market so powerful. It doesn't need to convince you. It only needs to surround you. You open your phone for one thing, and the system offers 10 more. Not because it cares what you want, because it cares what you will do. And it learns that by watching your timing, the hour you're most impulsive, the moment you're most uncertain, the second you're most likely to click, that's the real product, your next moment of compliance. And once a system can reliably harvest that moment, it doesn't just sell ads. It sells influence, it sells mood, it sells urgency. It sells the feeling that you should act So the attention economy becomes a factory, not for content, for behavior. Now let's open the machine underneath it, because once you see the loop, you stop blaming yourself and you start seeing the system. Now we map the machine underneath it. A modern attention system is a loop. Sense, decide, act, learn. Sense, it measures you in microsignals. Watch time, pause, time, scroll speed, replays, skips. Late night sessions, it measures the moment you slow down, the moment you lean in, the moment you almost leave, and the moment you return, because timing is the signal that reveals the most. Then it decides. An AI ranks the world for you, not by truth, not by importance, by predicted engagement. It doesn't ask, what should you see? It asks, what will keep you inside the loop? So it builds a menu, a feed, a queue, a sequence, and because the system is optimized for retention, the menu gradually shifts. Less friction, more intensity, more novelty, more outreach, more reassurance, more of whatever keeps you from leaving. Now here is the key detail. The system doesn't need to understand you like a human. It only needs to predict you. It doesn't need a story about your life. It needs probabilities. If you pause here, show more of this. If you skip that, hide more of that. If you watch late at night, change the mix. If you replay, amplify. If you hesitate, test again. That's not content. That's optimization. Then it acts. This is where control becomes physical. Autoplay removes the moment of choice. Infinite scroll removes the end. Notifications arrive like a tap on the shoulder, not when information is needed, but when compliance is likely. And recommendations don't just respond to your interests. They shape your interests. They narrow your world until the algorithm becomes the horizon. Now notice what disappears. Silence, boredom, stopping points. Because stopping points are where control returns to you. So the system designs around them, then it learns. Every time you hesitate, the system records it. Every time you stop, it measures what stopped you. Every time you return, it logs what brought you back. And the model updates. The loop tightens. The environment changes. This is the part most people underestimate. You are not consuming a static product. You are living inside an adaptive environment. And adaptive environments don't just reflect behavior. They produce behavior. Over time, small nudges compound. Your feed changes. Your expectations change. Your tolerance changes. Your attention span changes. And then your choices change. That's why the feed doesn't feel like a suggestion. It feels like reality. Because reality is what you see most. And what you see most is what the loop chooses to show. So when people say, I'm just watching what I like, they're missing the deeper mechanism. The system is also watching what you like. And it's using that information to build the next version of you. Now, once you understand the loop, the next question becomes obvious. Where does the loop apply pressure? Because pressure is how behavior changes. And the most powerful pressure in the attention economy is not content. It's design. That they say? Next. Now we zoom into the pressure points. Because the loop doesn't control you with a single message. It controls you with an environment. Start with variable reward. Sometimes the feed is boring. Then suddenly it delivers something perfect. A clip that hits your exact mood. A post that triggers outrage. A story that feels personal. That unpredictability is not accidental. It's a slot machine structure. Your brain doesn't chase satisfaction. It chases the possibility of satisfaction. So you keep scrolling, and the system learns the pattern. It learns how many boring items you tolerate before you leave. It learns which reward pulls you back. It learns your threshold. Then it designs around it. Now remove the stopping points. Autoplay removes the decision to continue. Infinite scroll removes the end. And recommended for you removes the work of choosing. The system does the choosing. You do the consuming. Now look at friction. In the attention economy, friction is not random. Friction is a tool. Friction is removed where staying is profitable. One tap. No delay, no pause. Friction is added where leaving is profitable. More steps to unsubscribe. More menus to find the setting. More confusing toggles. More prompts designed to make you reconsider. That's not bad design. It's optimized design, and AI makes it sharper. Because AI can test millions of variations. It can measure which color keeps you longer, which timing gets the click, which wording gets compliance, which layout delays sure exit. It can A/B test your attention. And when attention becomes a metric, the safest choice for the system is always the same. Whatever keeps you inside. Now, add emotional targeting. The system learns which emotion works on you. Outrage, fear, validation, belonging, shame, hope. It doesn't need to understand the emotion. It only needs to see what increases engagement. So the feed becomes a mirror that reflects your strongest reactions. And then it becomes a teacher. It trains what you noticed. It trains what you ignore. It trains what you expect from reality. It trains you to crave intensity. It trains you to fear silence. It trains you to seek constant novelty. That's why people feel exhausted after just scrolling. Because you weren't resting. You were being optimized. And once optimization becomes the business model, the system will keep pushing until you push back. So what does pushing back look like? Not motivation, not willpower, structure. Because structure creates friction in the places the system removed it. Structure creates stopping points where the system erased them. And once you rebuild stopping points, control can return. Now we build that structure. So what do? You don't fight an optimized environment with willpower. You fight it with structure. Because structure is how humans regain timing. And timing is the real battlefield. Not what you believe. Not what you like. When you act. So here is a control checklist you can actually use. First, audit your inputs. Your feed is not neutral. It is a training system. So treat it like a diet. If you wouldn't eat it every day, don't feed it to your mind every day. Because the loop doesn't only show you content, it teaches you what to crave. It teaches what feels normal. It teaches what feels urgent. It teaches what feels rewarding. And over time you become a predictable response machine. Second, remove non-essential notifications. Notifications are not information. They are triggers. They interrupt your attention and reset your priorities. They don't ask permission. They assume it. So make one rule. If something matters, you will check it on your terms, because every notification is a tiny takeover. A small theft of timing. Third, add delays before buying or scrolling. A delay is a reclaiming of choice. Even 10 seconds is enough to break automatic behavior. Turn off autoplay. Turn off next video where you can. At a pause, at the end of a clip, put a stopping point back into the machine. Because stopping points are where control returns to their human. And when the system removes stopping points, it removes the moment you would normally ask, do I actually want this? So you rebuild that moment. Make the default slightly harder, because the system wins through defaults. Fourth, separate contexts, separate accounts, separate devices, separate identities. One identity for finance and real life. Another identity for feeds and entertainment. Why? Because the loop learns across contexts. If your entertainment identity is connected to your real identity, your mood becomes a data signal for your wallet. Your stress becomes a targeting vector. Your boredom becomes an opportunity. Your loneliness becomes a market. The less you mix, the less it can profile your full behavior. Fifth, do a weekly review of your attention, not as as maintenance. Ask one question: where did my time go without permission? Then change one thing, not 10. 1. Because small friction compounds. A single notification setting, a single app moved off the home screen, a single rule for late night scrolling, a single no phone window in the morning. Tiny changes become structure. Structure becomes protection. Now, here's the deeper point. The goal is not to quit technology. The goal is to regain control of timing. Because in the attention economy, timing is power, and power always follows whoever controls timing. This is why silence matters. Boredom matters. Stopping points matter. They are not empty. They are where you return to yourself. They are where you notice, I'm being pulled. And once you can notice it, you can interrupt it. Now a warning that most people ignore. If you do nothing, the system will keep getting better at you. It will learn your stress, your loneliness, your curiosity, your anger, and it will monetize the moment you are weakest. Not because it hates you, because it's optimized. Optimization docente, abebalu. It has objectives, and the objective is engagement. So don't wait for motivation. Build structure. Because structure is what survives when the environment is designed to override you. Now I want to end with one clean idea. This isn't about discipline. It's about architecture. In the attention economy, control is the asset. If you understand the loop, you stop blaming yourself, and you start changing the environment. You rebuild stopping points, You reclaim timing. You regain control. Subscribe for premium intelligence, because the systems are getting smarter, and so should we.